This is day 104. Today I was thinking how money changes the mind of a person, or materialism changes the mind of a person from the place from where they have been, where they when they are at an overview, they see things very bleakly. Now I don't say it negatively. I don't really condescend money. I really want that everyone has a lot of money, they get rich, because at the end of the day, how world is functioning right now, you talk about existentialism, spirituality, but money has a very greater role to play right now. And those who don't have it, they want to acquire it, no matter in what sort of knowledge they have, what sort of dimension they're living in. But I don't know, there's no word as dimension I wanted to use here, but what sort of life discipline that they are living in. So definitely money is important to be acquired. But the point I'm trying to make here is, there is a story that I read when I was young in the school. I'm still young, but when I was in school, when I was a youth or a teenager. So I read this story in which they said that the protagonist used to be a laborer, and he used to be treated as trash by the rich people. Now over time he works hard and he becomes a rich guy, and then he treats laborers, or those who are at lower class where he was at one point. He treats the same to them the same way. Now, uh, nowadays it is getting better. People are a bit nicer to each other when it comes to the socio economic status that people have. But there is still a class that exists that want to have that rural mentality. um, Now when I say that, I don't and that doesn't go away from the mind. Actually, people have become woke. They are like, no, we are cool, we are interacting with each other, there's no racism, there's no casteism, there's no this and that, there's no religious biases, there's no money differences. But in their head, they that is more predominant than ever before. So it is all become mental now. Now people are engaging. They're very nice and sweet when it comes to following the rules, playing by the rule book. But in their head, they are the same. And now the point I'm making here is that what initially when they used to do that, at least there was this margin of error that okay, someone is doing it, then at least there is a transparency there, right? We know that that person doesn't like you, or there is certain sort of bias that he has. But over time they learn that feelings get hurt. No, don't hurt feelings, but still keep the biases. Now it has all mugged up these things. People are still doing the same things, but they're doing it in their head. Okay, and when they do it, that hurts their mental health and emotional health. And that is the case. That is why there are rise of these mental issues that are happening around. Talked about it last time as well. One was hobbies, that people don't have hobbies. So in later ages, they develop sort of like purposelessness. And another one is the way we are living. I mean, there are many factors. I'm just listing whatever comes from the top of my mind. Another one here is also how we are dealing with people. There is this political thing going on. Like, okay, there is. I keep recommending a lot of videos. I have mentioned this. Mahabharata has a lot of aspect where these people, they lived in certain part of the world. They were worshipped. They worshipped the same gods. They have similar culture, but still, they had this human feelings, emotions, psychology. That is the crux of that Mahabharata. And when you read that, you realize that humans are going to be the same. Okay, they are going to be same every time over millennia. If you live, they will be the same. There would be evolvement, but when it comes to like especially when it comes to achieving the bigger milestones in life, people start talking nicely, they and nicer they become, the more kind of negativity they start holding in themselves, right? Because there's no let out now. Otherwise, if you're just doing your negative stuff, you know, just like that, at least there is kind of a vent somewhere. You are not holding it in yourself. But this way, when you're being too nice, haha, always happy chappy, that does something to yourself, because it's not human tendency to be like this. Yes, you can channelize, you can you can have healthy lifestyle to do that. And I'm not saying it's not impossible, it's not possible, it is definitely possible. But that is too saintly to say that, and to the level where you are always positive. Yes, it can be you have your own healthy lifestyle and then you don't emotionally relate to anything, you are disconnected, then it's all good. Yes, you can do it. But now how things have become is, they want you to be vested. They have this emotional vested interest and whatever sort of heart and soul you're putting into something, and then they say don't become emotional about it. So there is this contradiction that goes in, and then that starts cramping up inside you, and you don't realize it. You keep thinking, you keep telling yourself, no, no, that's all good. But if there is no vent for a long time, it is going to burst someday. And if it doesn't burst, even crazy, because that becomes to sort of a disease later point of life. Now, healthy life I'm talking about. Healthy life, you're always let's say you have some spiritual routine that you do, spiritual and then physical routine as well, spiritual, mental, physical routine. uh, Yoga does that for me, right? So you go, you follow that routine, and then there is you are trying to explore and learn about things. You are interested in rather life than in people. uh, you're interested in helping people, but you're interested in rather life and learning about it, rather than thinking what is that person going to think about me, or how are certain people functioning. Okay, to make this point clearer, people if you have a certain for example, I come from a life where I was interested in birds, and I was living a different life. But I don't come to the human psychology thing fresh. There has been a lot of you say research behind this. I have been in touch with how human psychology has been working, even though I wasn't in touch with a lot of humans at that point, the COVID pandemic in the peaks. uh, but when you get to the core of it, you realize that okay, you are now in the midst of it, you are dealing with people. And that's true, what you had researched or what you had learned in your time when you were away from them. So that really triggers certain sort of things, that wow, humans don't change for centuries. Because what their emotions don't change, right? Mahabharata talking about 5,000, 10,000, 12,000, whatever the age they have, the how old is Mahabharata, we don't know that. But let's say 5 to 12,000, whatever the window is, human emotions were full of that. And it's still you go into these certain industries, they have all the same going on. Now, with media, movies, and how people are speaking in front of the camera, it's becoming more of like uh, a mirage. Everyone is happy, everyone is positive. You see that, you're like, okay, I want to be like that. But when you do it, you realize it's not normal, it's not human. And you can have a great routine, but it is not normal to function like that. At least there is a certain, we are emotional beings. We now I know there is a certain segment changing this definition as well, but normally we are emotional beings and that's how we function. Well, I think I went far, but the point I was making here was that it is interesting how the human emotions and feelings, they stay the same for centuries. But having said all this, I think positivity and strength of hope is the way to go. I function and live like that. Now, there are going to be negative moments where you feel negative. How you function and channelize that, that is going to define your journey, where it's headed to. So, good luck to me, and if someone watches this, to them as well. I'll finish up with this. Thank you.